Hi everyone. In this video we're going to have a look at some functionality that allows us to recognize when we have a list of data that's potentially got duplicate data in it. We're in the demo workbook as usual, and I'm going to go to employee list. Now I'm going to follow the tutorial finding and removing duplicate, so if you want to get that printed out and follow along, you can do so. Now what I've done is, before I started this video, I went into view and freeze pane. So I freezed the top row on my data so that it stays on screen. Let me just unfreeze that and refreeze my top row. There we go. Now my top row stays on screen. And I also just applied, from the home ribbon, I just applied filters, just because it just makes it easier for me to look up stuff. So what we're going to do is, before we start looking for duplicate data in here, now this has got nothing at all to do with duplicate data, but I just thought it'd be an opportune moment to play around a little bit with text. You can see that the surname and the first name columns are reversed here. Now I could switch them around, but actually I want them in one cell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a new cell, and I'm just going to use a really handy little function in Excel. I'm going to use the equal symbol and then click on the first name. Then I'm going to use the ampersand, the and symbol, and then I'm going to click on surname, and then it actually ties the two values together and gives me people's names all the way down. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Right, now let's see if I've got any duplicates here. So it says here that a poorly designed payroll system has led to employees receiving multiple employee IDs if they have moved between locations. So there should be no duplicate employee IDs. I can see they run all the way sequentially and they are unique. However, what I'm trying to do is identify if there are any duplicate people. Now there's two things I can do here. I can either remove them without looking at them first, or I can highlight them first. So let's do the highlighting first. You can do this under conditional formatting. Now, as we know, conditional formatting works first by selecting the area that you want to affect. So I'm actually going to do all of them. And actually, shall I do that? No. Actually, no, let me just do that. Let me just do full name, I think, otherwise it's going to be a little bit confusing. So I'm just doing people's full names. I'm not worried, by the way, that there's a few people who haven't got spaces between their names. Please don't let yourself get distracted by that. It's not important for this tutorial. So I've highlighted column D, and I'm going to go to conditional formatting, down to highlight cell rules, and then down to duplicate values. And what it tells me here is that it's going to highlight any duplicate values with a light red fill. I could, of course, change that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with it. And what you can see instantly is Mark Percival has gone red. Now that means there are more Mark Percivals down here somewhere in the list. I've got Gareth Wilson's, etc. So I've obviously got quite a few duplicates going on there. What I think I'll do is, if I just deselect the highlighting, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my sorting, and I'm going to sort my data A to Z on full name. So now it's much more obvious where you can see I've got these duplicates going on, because now that we're sorting alphabetically, they really do jump out at me. Let's just focus on this Adrian Wade here. So Adrian has he is the same person. He's 22 years old, and he's moved from the Northants to Surrey office, and it's resulted in generating a duplicate entry for him. And actually we don't want that second one. We want to keep that first one, and we just want to update it accordingly. So we're going to use another technique that you can use in Excel to get rid of duplicates very quickly. So what I'm going to do is go to the data ribbon, And notice how this time I'm not highlighting anything at all. All I've done is I've just clicked somewhere in my data table, but I haven't highlighted any columns or rows. And is it? Here's my button that I need. I couldn't find it because I've reduced the size of my window. If I just quickly, and it's not going to do it for me. Hang on, let's see if I can make my window bigger. It's not going to do it. Ah, there we go. That's the button you're after. Remove duplicates. Let me just put my window back to the right size. So I'm going to click on that button, and then it's going to look at my top row, because I've said here my data has headers, so it's looking at that top row up there and using those to give me column choices. Now I am only interested in full name and age. If somebody's got the same full name, because obviously one person can, two people can have the same name, but if they're the same age, I'm going to assume that they're the same person. So let me unselect all of those and just pick up on age and full name. Click OK. And what it's telling me is that it has found 16 duplicate values. Now, remember Adrian Wade? We had 2, didn't we? And now look, it's gone ahead and it's removed the second Adrian and kept the first one. So you could say, well, why hasn't Adrian Weaver disappeared? Well, the difference is because all of these Adrian Weavers actually are different ages. So we're going to assume they're different people. And it's that simple. Do make sure you remember both of those techniques because they are very, very common in the exam.